My name's Mo. I'm a direct payment recipient from Leicester. I too am a wheelchair user. And I just want to give you a brief overview of what is actually happening in Leicester. As a direct payment recipient, like many of you that I've been reading in the chat, found myself very unhappy with my social care package. The process itself was adversarial, it was unflexible, and it was imposing. I was told that I could have a support, and this was little more than the very basics of washing and dressing and just surviving, really. The focus itself was very much on what they could provide as social services. They were able to do this, they could give me that. You know, there was no choice in there for me. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, I was very lucky in that the community support worker that came out to do the dreaded review, yeah, you know, the one where your stomach hits your boots because, you know, that review time, that adversarial time, that fighting for your hours, that's all come round again, and it only seems that you finished that process last week. And I was dreading my review and got all my papers ready for my argument. And this very nice lady, I was very lucky, she came out and we had a chat, and she was great. And she actually gave me some social hours, which I had no idea what they were. And I was able to go to my little craft club, and I was able to go swimming, and it was just, it like opened my life. And that's when I started to look a bit more around what you were actually entitled to. And it was only at that point I realized I actually had rights in all of this. It wasn't something that I ought to be grateful for and you know, sort of thanking everybody and fighting for. So I was then very lucky that I had the same care worker come back each year after that. I mean, it's totally unique in my experience from what other people have experienced and what I had experienced in the past. But over the last 3 or 4 years, I've had the same lady come to see me, and it's been so much easier to not have to go over everything, go into the minutiae of the detail, know that I can talk to this person and she can talk to me as well. We talked about my dog and all sorts of things, and it was just nice to not have that same level of, can I trust this person with my personal details? And so then last year I was contacted by the City Council to say that TLAP had organised a session where they wanted to talk about direct payments. And I also do quite a bit of work in the community for disability and disability awareness, and raising awareness within non-disabled environments. And I'd heard this same story over and over again that I was experiencing. So I thought, well, I'll go along to this direct payment session and see what's said. And a number of people came, and it was all very much the same sort of process and procedure and difficulties that we'd all heard about. And then at the end of the meeting, Lynn, who is here today, she spoke up on behalf of the council and said how shocked and sorry and disappointed she was in that everybody felt this way. There was a real genuine sense of understanding. And Lynn said to us all that she would take this on board, she would go back and speak to people and arrange another session. So after that, whilst I felt a little bit positive about it, I honestly didn't expect to hear anymore. I thought we'll probably get an email in 6 months saying this. However, literally within a week or so, Lynn contacted us again, and she said that she'd spoke to people, and there was a lot of I won't say anger, but there was a lot of shock really about what people genuinely have felt and how we felt. And she wondered if we would be interested in meeting again to talk about things more specifically and look at making things better. And so yeah, I went to another workshop, and things started to happen very, very quickly. Letters started to get sent to all direct payment recipients, explaining they were doing this. This whole process of looking at it. And I remember one of the first things that happened was a letter that came out, which they passed through us to look at and take out all the offending words. But that was circulated very, very quickly. They got on board with all these things. And since then, we've worked together. There is a genuine co-production feel about it. Not just the managers, they are working with social workers, with the finance people, with everybody that impacts on social services. Obviously with us as well, and we've made a number of changes already other than the redrafting of letters. Now, I wrote a short list, but actually it turned out into a long list, because as well as redrafting the letters, the tone of the letters changed. They started to consult widely. Terminology was a big thing. Terminology is a real everything that people talk about now, they always think about, is that the right way for me to put that? So that's been a positive change in the culture within the council. Very big thing as we looked at the way that finance was involved. We did lots of things like change the letters within finance. We have looked at how we can make packages more flexible, and it doesn't, like we said, it does not mean spending more money. There's a lot more that we've got on the list to do. Communication with other partners, particularly the health side of things, which Jade has mentioned today. That's a big thing for many people. But the focus has definitely changed. We're talking about co-production. We're talking about making it real. We're talking now about empowering everybody. And the focus is on me as the direct payment recipient. It's about what makes me happy. And one of the big things we did was completely throughout the review process paperwork, kept the bit that was legal and we had to. And now it's just all about me. The very first question that they ask you when you come out for your review now is, how are you and what makes you happy? What can we do to make things happy? And it really makes such a big difference that that adversarial feeling has gone. And we're not there yet, long way to go on this journey, but there really is a willingness to change, and that is very important. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Lynn, for really engaging and being, well, such a good person and a friend, really. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.